Hello friends, we are starting a new standard today, IAS 16, dealing with property, plant and equipment. So are coffee plants, sheep and goodwill considered assets as per IAS 16? Let's discuss in today's video. Hi, my name is Pratij and welcome to Deep Dive into IFRS. In this video, I'll go step by step. First, I'll give you the definition for PPE, that is property, plant and equipment. And then I'll go to the non-applicability of IAS 16, under which I'll be covering the examples of sheep and coffee plant. And then finally, I'll move on to the initial recognition criteria as per IAS 16, under which I will cover goodwill. So first, let's get into the definition of PPE. Property, plant and equipment are all tangible items that are held for use in the production or supply of goods or services, or for rental to others, or for administrative purposes, and are generally held for a period of more than 1 year. Next, non-applicability of IAS 16. All PPE will come under IAS 16 except for the following 5 categories. Number 1, if another standard requires or permits a different accounting treatment. For example, investment properties. If, for example, say you are holding an investment property for capital appreciation or for letting out to others. In this case, IAS 40 will apply. But suppose you are holding this investment property for constructing a factory for own use, then IAS 16 will apply. Category number 2, property, plant and equipment classified as held for sale as per IFRS 5. Category number 3, biological assets relating to agriculture other than bearer plants. Now, biological assets and bearer plants are technical terms. For now, for ease of understanding, you can assume that all living plants and animals are biological assets, and plants giving yield for more than 1 year can be considered bearer plants. That is as of now only. These are not the exact technical definitions. Only for the ease of understanding am I giving you this simpler version of the definition. So biological assets relating to agricultural activity are exempt from IAS 16. But suppose you buy a zoo. So zoo, as we know, is full of animals only, and animals are biological assets only. But if you see in a zoo, the biological assets, that is the animals, they are not used for agricultural activity. So in this example, they will come under IAS 16 only. Category number 4, measurement and recognition of exploration and evaluation assets. And finally, category number 5, mineral rights and mineral reserves such as oil, natural gas, etc. and such other non-regenerative resources. Let's take the sheep example first. Suppose you are into the business of rearing sheep for wool, from which you will manufacture sweaters. So let's subdivide this into 3 categories. First, sheep. Second, the harvested wool. And finally, third, the sweaters manufactured from this wool. So this is an agricultural activity only, and you're using a biological asset for agricultural activity. So the sheep will come under IAS 41, not IAS 16. The harvested wool is an agricultural produce, so that will also come under IAS 41. And finally, the sweater, woolen sweater produced out of this, that is an inventory. You're going to sell it. So that will get covered under IAS 2. So in this example, none of the items will come under IAS 16 as assets. Now the second example of a coffee plant. Suppose you're running a coffee estate. You are producing coffee beans, and from the coffee beans, you're grinding it and making coffee powder and selling it in bottles. So here also we can divide this example into 3 parts: the coffee plant, coffee beans, and finally the coffee powder that is selling. So coffee plant is a bearer plant, and hence that will come under IAS 16. Coffee beans is an agricultural produce, so it will come under IAS 41. And finally, the coffee powder that is selling is inventory, and that will be covered under IAS 2 and not IAS 16. So in this example, only the coffee plant will come under IAS 16. Now on to the initial recognition criteria for a property, plant and equipment. An item can be considered property, plant and equipment under IAS 16 if and only if it is probable that future economic benefits will flow from that item to the entity and its cost can be measured reliably. Now this future economic benefit can be either through sale or by use. So suppose you buy a MacBook Pro or a MacBook Air for say $1,300. It is certain that future economic benefits will flow to the entity by use, and its cost can also be reliably measured. But upon opening the laptop, you find that some internal hardware is missing, and just for the sake of this example, just assume that this can't be returned. Now in this case, even though you have paid such big money and normally it has to be recognized as an asset, as there is no future economic benefit that will flow from it, this can't be recognized as property, plant and equipment as per IAS 16. Now on to the final example of goodwill. As you all know, goodwill can't be reliably measured, and for this specific reason, this can't be brought under property, plant and equipment as per IAS 16, and it can't be recognized as an asset as per IAS 16. I hope this short intro video for IAS 16 was useful to you guys. Till I see you in my next video, thank you for your valuable time.